There is an African proverb that goes, "He who listens to the voice of the elder is like a strong tree, but he who covers his ears is like a branch in the wind." The essence of this proverb is rooted in the ancient African practice of honoring our ancestors and the belief that in our life cycle, from the cradle to the grave, our ancestors can play a key role in who we become and how we live our lives. Do you know how you came to be here? Who came before you? Do you know their stories? Which, by the way, is your story. I believe this applies to countries and companies as well, in that in a company's life cycle, from the founding to the decline, the founders and their vision play a key role in the continued success and impact of that company. What is your founder's story? Is your country, your company, a strong tree? Or is it a branch flailing in the wind? There came a time when I looked at my children who have been raised in North America, and I realized that there was a gap in how I approach life and how they did. They were missing the undergirding, the foundation of the stories about our ancestors. They were missing a powerful source of strength. I stand before you, Yoli, a member of the Tembu branch of the Xhosa tribe, and I am confident that I am a strong tree because I know the stories of those who came before me. And now my children do too. There is a story in each of you that can give you perspective, power, perseverance, and poise. Each story I tell my children is like a strong root that goes deeper than anything they encounter in their daily lives. Perspective. One of our favorite stories is that of their great-grandfather, Z.K. Matthews. This is an image of him shaking hands with President Lyndon Johnson in the White House. And his story reminds the children that there was a time when he was one chosen of his siblings to receive an education, and he never took it for granted. He went on to become the first black man in South Africa to receive a BA. He got a law degree, went on to study at Yale University and got his master's, and studied at the London School of Economics with Branislaw Malinowski. Now keep in mind, he grew up in Africa in the early 1900s under a racist apartheid regime, and yet maximized every opportunity he was given. When you think about the great companies, those that have had significant degrees of impact in this world, and you look at their founders and their perspective, how they view the world, people like Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, Akio Morita, Bill Gates, and Steve Jobs, 5, 10, 20 years in, is that perspective still alive within the company? Is it a strong root? For those of you who are descended of immigrants, do you know what it took to get here? Is that perspective and that desire to survive what was an unknown journey ahead, is it alive within you? Is it alive within your children? Power. When my kids are feeling powerless, I tell them that their great-grandfather became a professor, And one of his students was Nelson Mandela. He actually taught many African leaders who went on to play significant roles in the liberation of their respective countries. But my grandfather had no idea what his students would go on to do in their lives. But I like to think that his personal milestones, his firsts, were like seeds of what was possible that took root in the lives of his students. What are the seeds that have been sown by your ancestors? Do you think that your desire to become an entrepreneur, an artist, a writer, an inventor, a CEO, a president, do you think that started with you? Your talent for cooking, for preaching, your desire to want to change the world, do you think that started with you? Imagine the affirmation Oprah must have felt when she was told that one of her ancestors had built a school way before she did. Perhaps you too are watering a tree that was planted way before you ever existed. Perseverance. When the kids can't see the light at the end of the tunnel in a situation, I remind them that their great-grandfather once sat in a jail cell alongside Nelson Mandela and many others like him, simply for wanting the right to be treated like a human being. You know, Nelson Mandela had no idea when he was going to be freed. That took 27 years. But what he did know, and what he has always known, was that he was descended from leaders. That in his bloodline were leaders. And so he persevered. There was a time I couldn't stand in front of you and talk to you like this as an equal. What are the obstacles in your country, in your company, in your life that once seemed impossible? Let the knowledge of them and how they were overcome give your citizens, your employees, your children the strength to persevere. Those stories are like strong roots. Poise. When the kids are feeling insecure and unsure of themselves, I tell them that when their great-grandfather died, he was here in the US, and his body was flown back to Southern Africa on Air Force One. He had the respect of the president, and whatever poise he had within him is within them. It's within me. It was within his father and his father before him. But what also gives us poise are the warnings from the lives of our ancestors. I also tell them about the drug addict, the alcoholic, the procrastinators, and the shady characters in the family. There's a study from Emory University that shows that children who know about the ups and downs, the triumphs and the challenges in the lives of their ancestors are much better prepared to handle the challenges in their future. We can draw strength from knowing what cycles not to repeat and carry into the next generation. When you are feeling unsure and insecure, step back and realize the fact that you are even here is a feat within itself. You have survival in your bloodline. There is so much that could have gone wrong in the history of your family. The fact you are here in this moment and time is remarkable. The fact you have the privilege of guiding a country, guiding a company, guiding the life of another human being as a parent is mind-blowing. Your founders, your ancestors have stories that should give you fuel. There is a story in each of us that can give us perspective, power, perseverance, and poise. He who listens to the voice of the elder is like a strong tree, but he who covers his ears is like a branch in the wind. Are you a strong tree? My name is Yoli Chisholm, and I thank you for giving me the opportunity to honor my ancestors and plant a seed in your life.